guys, thanks for tuning in to another edition of Stoned in Seattle. I'm Jessica Pock, and today I'm here with Josh Decker, CEO and co-founder of Tagboard, and Jenny Hogan, Chief Media Officer. Thanks so much for taking the time to join me today. Let's start off by telling our viewers a little bit about what Tagboard is and what you guys do here.
Great. Well, Tagboard, we're a startup located in Redmond, and we have a 16-person team. What we're doing here is we're aggregating social media based on the hashtag, and the whole core of what we're doing is to try to build community by adding really great, powerful tools that allow people to aggregate conversations, pull people together from across all of social media. We currently aggregate from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, and Google+. We'll be adding some others as well soon. But what we do is we allow people to really pull in all the signal from the noise and then curate the very best of that conversation. And what happens is it allows anyone can join a conversation now. All they have to do is add a hashtag. And so what we're doing is really building a platform around that, allowing people to, whether you're a community manager, whether you're a marketer, whether you're the head of digital for an NFL football team or running strategy at a Fortune 500 company, we offer tools for those people to really take their marketing campaigns and community strategies and pull all of them together and make it really easy.
Okay. And can you give our viewers a quick overview of your background and maybe a fun fact or something that very few people know about you?
Oh, goodness.
On the spot.
What don't people know about you?
Well, I've been to 35 countries, and
Wow.
I actually had been to 35 countries by the time I was about 12 years old. My family did a lot of missions trips, and we traveled overseas quite often to do that.
Awesome.
So my perspective on life is much bigger than just my local environment. And coming back at the age of 9 from a missions trip, you don't really care about the next Nintendo game as much as you used to. Of course, a couple of weeks later, I probably cared about it again. But certainly the perspective for me is really global, and I love that opportunity. And now that I have a couple of kids of myself, my wife and I really want to do the same for them.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't realize 35. I've been to 16 different countries as well. But something that I was really drawn to when I came to this company was Josh and his love for communities, and just being able to talk online and bring that conversation together. Before I was at the company, I was a big, I would say, lover of Tagboard, and I actually worked in television in Seattle, been in television for over 12 years and built an amazing online community. A lot of those people are from Seattle as well. And to put a spotlight on their voices, I felt was so powerful. And when I was working at different stations, Cairo, King, and Q13, I actually used the Tagboard technology to put a spotlight on their voices. And at that time, they weren't targeting the broadcast arm very heavy into more sports and brands and live events. And so it's just really exciting now to be a part of this team and help lead that division as well.
New Jersey native Tim Howard had a lot of great saves during the game today, and he simply blew up on social media afterward. This woman writing, quote, "Tim Howard delivered such an extraordinary, legendary performance. Someone else having a bit of fun showing Tim Howard with giant hands because he stopped so many of those shots today." And finally, this last person showing that Tim Howard was simply the Department of Defense.
So where did the idea for Tagboard come from?
Well, I got the idea. It was around 2010. I actually run one of the world's largest Audi community forums with over 1 million users, 60+ million page views annually, very large community. And I got really frustrated with the way that all these separate conversations were happening in these different silos. Whether it be the separate forums or the different social network silos, they were just the same conversation happening in different places. And I was like, man, if we can just put this all together somehow and bring it into one larger community conversation, it'd be much more powerful and dynamic. And that's when I first started looking at ways to do that. And I felt like what I had seen happening on Twitter with the hashtag was really great. But I thought, man, why can't we use the hashtag everywhere? It truly has become, in recent months and years, a true cross-platform phenomenon, and people are using it everywhere, even in text messages and things, right? So the fact is that we got this really early start on the hashtag. It's really how it started, and we quickly realized that what we were building here, we didn't want to focus anymore on kind of recreating old school forum software. We actually decided to focus solely on the aggregation and curation and redisplay of social content from social networks. And that's what we're doing today, and it's been great. And the best part about the whole thing is, as Jenny mentioned, I talk to, someone, whether it's the Seahawks or Intel or Boeing, one of our clients, and I say, hey, what happened? How did you like using the product? And a lot of times they come back to us with responses like, oh, it was so great for our community, or it really helped grow our community, and they use that keyword a lot. And for me, it was a really good feeling, because that's really the heart of what we're doing, is building a community tool, and to see it actually happening in real life, it's really great.
We really pride ourselves on being responsive to our fans. And with the technology that's out there now, there's really no reason for any sports organization not to be more connected to their fan base. It was so hard for us in the past to try to get something and display it. There was many steps. Well, with Tagboard, it's one easy click of a button, and it's approved and it's to the screen in no time.
Tagboard solves a problem for communities. So when I was doing my live social experiment television show, the hardest thing was I wanted one call to action to let the viewers be a part of the conversation. And telling them to go to their social media platform was more than one call to action, because what if they're not on Twitter or Facebook? They have to sign up. So that's one step. Then they have to learn how to use it before they can even communicate with me as the leader of this conversation. So the hashtag is that one call to action, and then allowing the tools and the technology, which is Tagboard, to get that community leader to be able to see the best voices. It just solves that problem really easy for community leaders, and it amplifies the conversation. So what I noticed, when you give someone the call to action to use a hashtag and they can use their favorite social media platform, you start trending locally or nationally these clients after just several minutes.
Yeah, we see the hashtag as kind of like, I have a Seahawks jacket, and I'm so proud to wear that Seahawks logo on my chest. And the hashtag is like a digital brand logo, right? It's you putting on your self-selecting, you're opting into that conversation because you really care about what you're talking about. Whereas on Facebook and Twitter, even, when you just post something without any type of segmentation like the hashtag, it's just going out to the people that follow you, and that's it. However, of course, here locally, a lot of our friends and family are Seahawks fans as well. But what if you're talking about something that's boring to most of the people that you're talking to? The hashtag is a way to connect with other people. And so what we're doing is just building on top of that and really allowing it to be even more connectivity between the different fans, engaging peer-to-peer conversations. And a lot of times, it may not be as much the brand communicating with each of their fans, which they still do, but if you get them all into the room, it's a really fun thing that happens. They start communicating together, they start following each other, and that's truly what community is. Community isn't so much, hey, look, I'm talking to Audi directly because I'm a fan of Audi. It's me finding new friends and followers on social media through that community, and now I'm a peer-to-peer, and I'm having these great conversations with people who have love the same things that I do. So it's great.
And it can even take it offline, like for the Seahawks, when we turn the city blue as a fan base, because people were talking about the hashtag to show your pride. And next thing you know, it's spread online. I'm telling my friends through the hashtag, but I'm actually doing the action by putting up the Seahawks flag at my house, or companies are putting up lights too. So you can start to see the power of really rallying people around one topic, and then having them a place to go and look at that all in one place too. So they're not having to search different things. We're all busy, right? So you want to make things really simple for people to be able to get to the conversations they want and participate in them.
Well, you guys have a lot of big name customers, like Alaska Airlines, the Seahawks, Mariners, Audi. How did you acquire such top-notch customers?
Well, that's been probably the most fun since we started this thing. Like, we have so much fun working with our clients, because a lot of them, like, if you would have asked me 2 years ago what my dream client list was, we've been able to start working with most of those people in a really organic way. Over 90% of all the business that we've done has started in inbound organic discovery of our product. So we get an inbound request or referral from a happy client. And that's how we've been able to grow this thing, is really just through really happy customers who love to brag about us. And that's a really great thing too, is because when one client uses us, like Alaska Airlines has us embedded on their website, for instance, or any one of the hundreds of other clients that we have, we've done it in a way that we actually have branding on that page as well. So it says powered by Tagboard. So if someone goes there and says, oh my gosh, this is like the coolest thing I've seen, well, there's attribution to our team here, and then people can follow through. And so a lot of the success we have had has come through that type of success, and we really haven't had to really push outbound sales like most startups have to do. And in fact, the biggest problem we've had is trying to keep up with all the inquiries and sales. So
what a great problem to have.
Yeah,
right?
but we're really proud of our clients, and we treat them like partners. We treat them, and in most cases, like we're actually fans of those companies, and so for us, it's like a big honor and a privilege to work with them. And I think that we treat them a little bit differently than some other people would, and we just go into the opportunities like, wow, this is a great opportunity for us to look really good and to help one of our favorite brands, like the Seattle Mariners or the Seahawks, or now we're working with over 100 teams all over the world, including European Premier League teams. We're working with Australian Rugby League associations. We're working with the NCAA. We did things like for me, it's like when I see the Final Four, one of the biggest sporting events of the year, and there's a big tagboard hanging above the court. That to me is like so much pride and excitement for us all here at Tagboard.
It's gotta be great.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. And we just did the Major League Baseball All-Star Game recently. We're doing a lot of big projects in sports. So it's been so much fun. And for us, it is, I know it's cliche to say, but we have so much fun doing what we're doing. Everyone here is so bought into this project. We all love what we're doing. And we have sometimes maybe a little bit too much fun, but
but it's right.
Yeah,
it's a passion job for all of us. Like if you meet any of the employees here, it's a team, it's a family, but our clients are part of that family. Like they being all of us here, are so into these family members, these clients, and we want to solve their problems. We want to just hit it out of the ballpark for them.
Yeah.
And the response from them is great. They will sing our praises. We don't have to go out and sing our praises. And I feel like it's been a domino effect from just putting our head down and really just loving them and wanting the best end result. And that has now paid off.
Yeah.
Tagboard has been great because it allows us to sort of see what's happening in real time and be able to react to it. As you're sitting waiting in a session for it to happen, you actually get to see all the conversations happen right there in front of you in real time. It's exciting. You don't have to go and look at your device. You can just look up at the screen.
One of the cool stories too is that we've actually received some really good feedback from our clients. In fact, we had Audi USA was one of the first people that started using us. This is like late 2012. And they came to us and said, man, we love what you're doing on the web, and this integration and redisplay of content and aggregation is so cool. But we want to put that in our booth at the international trade shows. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty great idea.
Sure.
I think we said yes to that one before we knew how we were going to do it. But it went amazing. We built this custom interface and designed this 30-foot screen that hung at the very centerpiece of their booth. And the social conversation for the hashtag that they used was greater than all the other auto manufacturers combined, because they were the only ones doing an in-booth social media display. So you walk into the booth and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Hey, post a picture of you, a selfie in front of that R8. And you might get up there too. And it was so awesome to see that happening, and so awesome to see how fun it was. Like you could stand there in the back of the booth. No one knew who we were. We didn't have badges on or anything. We just stood there and observed. And someone would come in, take a picture of that R8 or a selfie with their friends in front of all these cool cars. And then within 30 to 60 seconds, for them to see that photo up on the screen, and then literally the joy that created for them as a fan. Now they're bonded and excited about that Audi brand a lot more than probably any other manufacturer at the show. And so some of the things that we've done as a company to build out different segments of our platform, like our live display product, have started with our clients coming to us and saying, what about this? What about that? And now we're doing broadcasts, and we acquired Jenny Hogan's company, TV Interact, earlier this year. Now she's joining us. We're really broadening our platform to really provide a really great value across all different marketplaces.
Okay. And in 10 seconds or less, how would you convince our readers to start using Tagboard, or our viewers to start using Tagboard?
Well, it's free and it's fun. And if you... that's 10 seconds, I guess.
You're done.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
Jump on. You can search your favorite conversation. My husband at a barbecue game on the weekend, he loves the Seahawks. He just gets down to his phone, puts in Seahawks. He can see everyone talking about it, and now beats ESPN with information and watches it, and he's already knowing that.
Yeah.
So if you Love
It's a great selling point.
conversations. Exactly. It's easy. It's free. Jump on.
Yeah, for users, it's always going to be free.
Okay.
We have very low price entry points for organizations like churches and small businesses, and we also offer a whole suite of enterprise platforms that can go way beyond what we do at the entry level.
Okay, cool. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Tune in next week for our next edition of Startup in Seattle. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.